season.
Thank you.
Oh, forgive me for that. I'm a little late. I'm sorry, Madison. I should have done that earlier. Are there any more questions? I have a
Yeah, I
couple.
have my hand up.
Go ahead and say it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lydia.
That's okay. Just wanted to ask, was the recording off while Sean was speaking? Because I have to write the minutes. Anyway, yes, Sean, if I might.
I can send you my talking points, Lydia.
Oh, thank you, dear. Couple of things, really. This is not a major issue, but it's some issue. I do go to Riverside Park, and I've noticed a lot of people with walkers and canes who, have problems with mobility. And there's so many areas where the stones are just rising up. They're cracked. I mean, I see if you go further around where Columbia is, they have repaved it. But there's a lot of areas there where people can break their neck. And it
where along Riverside? Talking about like 116?
I'm going to take some pictures and send it out.
That's great.
111th, 112th. I mean, even further south, but we're here 110th and up in this area for this community board. But it's just very hard for people that, have problems walking, and to enjoy the little bit of pleasure they have. To get out for an hour, get fresh air, and take a little bit of a walk, and they'll fall on their face. I've just seen a few of them stumble. I don't know why they don't fix it. They fix it.
Yeah, if you could send the photos, that would be helpful. We can then relay those photos to parks, and then see what they can do. From their I don't know if it's required capital or not, or if they already have the ongoing finances to handle this. But please send us the photos, and we'll follow up with parks on it. Okay.
Okay, number two, you probably know there's going to be on Thursday for the municipal workers of the city, a demonstration against the push to put municipal workers onto Medicare Advantage. And I was just wondering, do you know about that? It's going to happen Thursday.
I did not know about that rally on Thursday, but we'll take note of it.
Yeah, take note of it, because obviously this is something that concerns us greatly. Feel like the cities reneged on a long-term contract. So just wanted to let you know, I will be down there, and I'm sure Walter will be too.
I have a class Thursday for my license. I'm sorry about that.
You'll be there in spirit.
Yeah, I'll be there in spirit. Thank you. Any more? I have a couple of questions. I want to follow up on what Lydia was talking about with the homeless folks. And you hear everything on TV about the migrants and et cetera, and the influx, and it's just, I don't really comprehend, because I'm not that political, why the federal government is not more involved in funding and assistance. Because it's like, you don't put people on a plane from Florida and send them somewhere. You don't tell them where you're sending them to.
Mm-hmm.
These are humans, and the things that they're going through. Okay, 6 months to wait for a work authorization is just ridiculous. Those folks come here and they want to work. You had two guys already that got here, and they were migrants and got themselves involved in the community and overdosed and died. Okay, right in front of that's what it is. And the city, great plan. The city wants to now the Narcon, I think called Narcon, that they want to put these in dispensers. Yes, put these in dispensers on the street. Now, I just listened to New York One, and New York One just said, and I hope that I didn't hear it correctly, they want to also put crack pipes in there. I mean, if that's not encouraging people to go get, the thing is, I envision it to be life-saving. Now, it's like you might as well, now you're going to what? You're going to put needles in there safe so they can safely, I think they're going a little too far. So I think the city council needs to really work on that promotion there with them. It's kind of out of the way. What can we do, not only as community board members, but as the community at large? So my folks that are online now, what can we do to influence the city's decision to make the cuts to these seniors? I got an email about
to make what? What's the question?
The cuts to it's department is it aging department now, Verna? Is that what they call it? I think they changed the name.
DIFTA, right?
Yeah, well, they changed
NYC aging.
Okay, there it is. I see it there. Thank you, Verna. Yeah, so the cuts that they are putting into the NYC aging, how can we influence, what can we do either individually and or collectively to influence the city council and the mayor that the cuts are going to be just as drastic as the cuts that they probably want to do with the Department of Education?
Yeah, I mean, I think if the committee issues a letter, I mean, we'll be happy to, amplify that letter on our socials. If you want to do a joint letter with us, we're happy to, explore that as well. But certainly, a letter of support, explaining that these cuts would be draconian and, hurt the folks who need it the most. I think is something that would be very helpful.
Okay, I maybe like a draft a letter to have the community board do a resolution and for a letter of support. So that might work, but I'd like to get the folks
Yeah.
that are online also to involve. So I hope I can, if it's okay, I got the names of the people that are here. If it's okay for me to add those names, I'd be great. But if you wouldn't like to, just say, Walter, don't put my name on. But if everybody's in agreement, I can put your names on as in the letter of support. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
Great.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Carlton, anything you'd like to add?
No, I just have a question. I don't know if it's well, a question kind of. Hi, Sean, how are you? We have
Yes.
I know that after the legalization of cannabis, this has gone wild in the city. And it's the park that concerns me the most, because this is where we have children, and when we have the elders, they go, especially during the summer, that they have some time to spend there. It's just impossible to be there for a long time. Is the city doing anything, or is looking to do anything regarding this issue? Because it's honestly, I go to the park, I cannot be there with my children, not even for
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to escape marijuana in the same way it's hard to escape cigarette smoke. It's legal, right? And so because it's decriminalized, I mean, it's gonna be hard to escape it, for one. For two, I was part of efforts which this was led by the DA, which would penalize landlords for renting out businesses to people who sell weed illegally, right? Because these are folks who are not licensed. They're not getting the licenses from the state. It's got to the point. I think it's to the point of no return, unfortunately. And I think that the governor doesn't want to say it, and I think that I don't think Alvin Bragg wants to say it either. They're doing these press conferences, but we're just seeing the proliferation of even more illegal cannabis shops. But I'm not gonna lie through my teeth. I think it's gotten to the point of no return.
This is really sad, because
it is. The state, and the state is the one who gives out the licenses. They should have gotten. They should have been very aggressive from the very beginning, because they didn't. They sent a message to a slew of businesses that, you know what, you can move, you can open up your own business without consequence. And now you have thousands. How do you wipe out thousands now? I don't know. I mean, is there a way? Absolutely. But I don't think that there's the will to make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, again, my major concern has to do with New York having very little green spaces for us to be able to spend outside. And now we have to fight with this, like anyone just there smoking in front of kids. It's really sad.
But it's also like it's like if people were walking around getting drunk all the time. I mean, because some of my friends at CUNY are telling me the kids are showing up to class stoned, a lot of them too. So it's the ubiquity. I don't think it should be criminalized, but it's just like, being drunk all the time to some extent. So.
Yeah, and look, smoking, cannabis is not allowed in parks, but it's also not enforced, right? So it's just a huge lack of enforcement. Also, the tension, right? We want to enforce, but we don't want to criminalize, right? Like, what does enforcement look like?
I didn't know it was you couldn't do it in the parks. I didn't know that, because they are. It's all over the park.
Yes, the parks.
I mean, that's where
major, I mean.
And can you imagine somebody who's high on a motorcycle in the park?
Yes, well, I'm sure that's happened already.
All right, that's a fact pattern and a half right there. And also in terms of, I know that I've been getting a lot of complaints, and it's something that we're looking into the council. There are a lot of e-bikes on sidewalks, and they're going in opposite directions, and they're hurting, older adults. It's something that we are keeping a mind of. We'll see what we can explore to help. We support e-bikes, we support deliveristas, but we also need to have that balance of safety as well for our older adults. And that's something that we're trying to explore on our end. So once we have an update on that, we'll get back to you on that.
I have a question. It's regarding enforcement. One is not definitely not your area directly, but it's indirect, and it also ties into my second one. I see so much dog poop on the streets now. At one time, they were giving fines for dog poops. Now, right in front of my door now, someone plopped a nice little kiblets of poop right up the street. There was a big gob, a big gob. I don't see enforcement anymore, which ties into the next thing. I see the cops now. I don't think they're enforcing fair beating. It's
That's
like
true, yeah.
I pay on the bus. I
Yeah,
say to
yeah.
myself, I'm one of the 3 people in the city that pay. I'm glad they pay because I'm a senior and I get it half price and I get my monthly card.
Yeah.
But they come on the bus. I used to say something to the driver. I don't blame them because you're fear for the safety of the driver.
Yeah.
But on the train, I mean, it's like the cops are on the station. They open up the exit door and they're going in. So I don't know if this is the administration is putting a little lax on enforcement of these things that used to be kind of more important. If the MTA, which is not again you, if the MTA is strapped for funds and they want to put up guards on some of this, so why are they letting? I mean, I hear nobody saying, well, we need to really crack down on fair beating, and there should be somebody walking around. And if the citizens themselves can take pictures, I know that's dangerous too, of people letting their dogs poop on the street and they get up and walk away. If we turn that in, with the NYPD do anything?
I
think go
ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Lydia.
No, I'm just going to say the other thing is that you never see the police get up out of that car. That's another thing with all that I know is not in your area too.
There are a lot of them are on their phones or working overtime and not enforcing. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm always honest with you. I guess just my phraseology. I think we need to address the core of the issue, and is that transportation is not available, is not accessible financially for a lot of people. I think we have to address the core of the behavior with which people engage.
Yeah.
I will also say that I was arrested once for alleged fare evasion, right? And I went once, swiped my Metro card, got into the turnstile. I left, but then I was called back to go to work. So then I had to re-swipe my Metro card, but it was reused. So I went through the door because I had just swiped 2 minutes before that. And I was arrested by the NYPD and I was taken to a local precinct.
Wow.
That's not right. I don't think that's right. I support tickets, but I don't support arrests for fare evasion, especially when in my instance, it was not fare evasion. I had just paid. And so, I think we have to be very careful with how we use NYPD. In this instance, I still support NYPD presence in our transit system. It's something that I support because something that TWU has asked for. And I do think that they provide a more safer environment, but I don't think that we need to engage in the criminalization of fare evasion. I think that's, for me, is where I draw the line.
I think, by the way, that it should be free. That's another issue. And they're going to raise it again. No, it's an artery. Who has to use that thing? People that work as home attendants, people that work in, places like restaurants. These are the working class, and it is too high. It should be free. That's another thing. Tax the rich. All right.
We need to make it more accessible. The dog poop, we need to get very aggressive with ticketing on that. I've also seen an uptake in dog poop everywhere I go, and especially I just moved to the 150s, and I see it right in front of my building. It's all over. And so I think we need to, I think the city has done a campaign on it. I'm hoping that's being helpful. I know DSNY has done a campaign on it. I'm hoping that results in a reduction.
You get to your 11:30.
Well, Victor just joined, Amber. I have to get out of here, but Victor, nice to see you.
Likewise, before you leave, if I may, I just have a couple of quick issues. As far as the police, I just encourage everyone to attend the uniformed services meeting where the police will be there. I met with Captain Rivera, the new captain of the 3O. She's eagerly waiting for us to speak about issues. There are issues with officers not getting out of the car on their phone and things of this nature, but she'd like to hear it directly from us. As Sean, as far as e-bikes, scooters, and whatever on the sidewalks, it's definitely out of control. I've almost gotten hit at least twice and almost hit people. And no enforcement. I'm going to bring this up with the captain as well. As police see them ride by, there's no enforcement of that at all. We need to take a look at that.
And to that, Victor, the issue with the e-bikes, right, is that they're not registered, right? It's not like a car. You can ticket a car, right? With e-bikes is a lot more difficult, right? And so
how do we get them to have they should have license plates so they can be tracked. They should be, liable.
And
so
also
we're looking into
laws because they're jetting in and out. Like I said, now you don't have to. Now it's bad enough. You see this car just went off the street and killed somebody and they hurt a couple of other folks. But they're not just coming up down the wrong side of the street or up the wrong side of the street. So now you have to look out for the cars and you have to look out for them. So now this is a double. You just can't get in the street and just wait for the light and go across now because the car, they zip through the lights. I really commend them. They work hard, rain, snow, sleet, hail. They're making their money. And I understand a lot of them don't have, a proper documentation or whatever, but now you can get a license without even having citizenship. So again, I agree with you, Victor. They should start working, and they keep the cities crying for money. You want to take money from the students and from the homeless, and seniors. So this is bulk up your enforcement stuff. Get these people to pay their fare, clean their poop, and obey the traffic laws.
So I will say that this is an issue that, I kid you not, I've heard it. I mean, I'm with Amber everywhere and Amber hears it and Amber just looks at me like, yet again, it's a complaint that everyone brings up. And we need to find a way to regulate it that's fair. And I'm going to need the community board here because there are going to be a lot of people who don't want to see any regulation at all of the deliveristas, right? And I'm just trying to strike that fair balance. That recognizes that this is an important job market and it's one that we need to protect. These are workers that have, this job gives them dignity. But at the same time, we also need to relieve the pressures, which is they have to deliver food within a certain time period. If not, it affects their bottom line. So we need to reduce the pressure of them to be speedy because that's what's causing them to zigzag through the streets and, go opposite traffic and things like that. And so that's something that we need to look at in tandem.
All right, I mean, that's fair, but going through the traffic lights, regardless of delivery of the food, still is not a good thing. But I hear what you're saying. Sorry, Carlton. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, Victor, the enforcement is key. You're right, because e-bikes are subject to the same traffic laws as cars.
Supposedly, yes.
Supposedly. So it is an enforcement thing and something I encourage you to bring up to Rivera, and I'll bring it up too.
I will. Thank you.
No, I just would like to know about the food distribution. Is any information of that? Can you send me something?
Oh,
yes, we have a flyer that we'll send it over to the committee today. Amber, you got that? Amber's gonna send over the flyer to you, Carlton. You can share with the committee, but it's every fourth Thursday of the month. Yeah, last Thursday of the month. Sorry.
And them e-bikes, they do be on the sidewalks. They full speed too. It's like
they're motorcycles, man. They're not just bikes.
Right.
They're motorcycles. All right, y'all, I have to actually run now, but I just want to say thank you all for having me this morning. I'm gonna try to do this more and more. And Victor, I'm excited for Victor to become your chair. He's gonna be great.
And congratulations on your new term that
thank you,
sir. Going to unopposed.
Thank you, Walter. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. All right, Miss Lopez from NYC Connect. That's a great program. I just want to say, if you want to say a few words, that would be nice. If she's within earshot. I see she's muted. There she goes.
Good morning, everyone.
My name is Lily Lopez. I am an outreach specialist for Manhattan and Brooklyn for NY Connects. It's a program that connects people with any disability, any age to services and resources. That program is managed by Center Independence for the Disabled of New York, abbreviation Sydney, CIDNY. So some of the things that we can assist with is helping people with the SNAP applications, certifications, GRE applications, as well as certifications, helping applying for housing, connecting people with resources and benefit applications as well. We don't approve nor deny the services, but we guide people through the process.
You're doing good. All right, I'm in the senior issues.
Any questions?
Let's see.
Would you be able, yes, I have a question. Would you be able to visit the center and be, excuse me, to do a one-on-one with seniors? Is someone available to do that, or it's just
Yeah,
by
I
phone?
could do.
Okay.
No, I could do that as well.
Mm.
I can come in and speak to seniors about our services.
Great.
I have been also doing visits to senior centers. Some of them ask me to come every other month to, sit there and talk to seniors about the program again, and anyone that wants to sign up. Like right now, we're dealing with the cooling assistant, which is like if anyone has not applied for an air conditioner within the last 5 years, they could apply for one. So I've been doing that for, for whoever, wants us to come in, as well as presentations. We also attend resource fairs.
Would you be able to send us a flyer of the NYC Connect so I could add that to the next month's minutes?
Sure.
Because I'll put my email in the chat and then you can forward it to me and I'll make sure it gets into the minutes, okay?
Sure, I will do that.
I'm putting it in now, all right?
Thank you.
All right.
Walter, quick question, if I may.
Go.
Ms. Lopez, can you send us information on the air conditioner program so we can put onto our website and distribute to our seniors, people who are eligible about getting air conditioners?
Sure, I'll try to find the link to HRA. We only assist people with the application process.
Okay.
It needs a program through HRA. But if,
Okay.
like a lot of seniors need assistance with the application,
Filling it
we
out.
can guide them
Yes.
through the process.
Okay. I'll look there as well in case you can't find it. I'll take a look.
Yeah, I'll find it. If I don't send it to you today, I'll send it to you during the week.
Thank you so much.
I put my, you see the XALEX111.com. If you can just send that to me, I appreciate it.
Okay, perfect. I
thank
will.
Mr. Arthur, you'd like to say a few words?
Just a quick, hi Lily, how are you?
Hi.
Okay, so I'm just going to just make a quick announcement for those who are not aware that Mayor Adams and Commissioner Lorraine Cortez Vasquez announced the launch of a Silver Core program. This is a new workforce development pilot program for older New Yorkers. It will increase financial mobility among older adults, combat ageism in the workforce, and fill employment needs in local communities. Older New Yorkers will also have a chance to develop new skills and continue their careers. Older New Yorkers want to continue contributing to their communities and keep working, but too many times they are prevented because of ageist biases people have. In order for them to be qualified, you got to be 55 years and older, New York City residents, authorized to work, currently unemployed or underemployed, and you should make no more than 400% below the poverty guidelines. The program is funded by AmeriCorps Seniors. New York City is one of the 2 municipalities in the nation that has received funding to develop and launch this pilot. If you need more information on this program, persons can call 212-602-4258 and ask for Emily Zuniga. Thank you.
Verna, does that include retirees?
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't quote me, I cannot give you the figure what is under below 400% poverty. Math is not my forte.
Okay. Okay. It might throw me out the box. All right, thank you. And thank you for appearing at the Senior Resource Fair. Good
You're
to-
welcome, and thank you all for that surprise recognition.
You're just well deserved. Well deserved. Thank you for coming every month.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Haggis, you have anything to add?
Yeah, hi, everybody. Thanks, Walter. We're continuing with a lot of the same programs here at the library. Our computer-based classes are one of the most popular. And so we're actually expanding the drop-in computer basics. So now we're offering it twice a week. So Mondays and Fridays between 2 and 3, people can drop in for basic computer help. And we're also expanding it to offer help with resumes and cover letters. So a lot of people are coming in needing help applying for jobs. And so they can also stop in again, Monday and Friday between 2 and 3. We're offering chess instruction. So one of our pages is really skilled in chess. So if anybody is interested in learning chess, they can come in on Thursdays at 2 o'clock. It's also just a chance, if you already know, to find a new partner to play with. What else are we offering? Ceci Davidson, who is a playwright who's written short plays for the library for a number of years, is coming back on June 17th. She'll be bringing professional actors, and they're doing readings of several short plays she wrote. So that's Saturday, June 17th. And we're also offering, for the first time since COVID, we're going to be doing a movie screening at the library. So once a month, we're going to do a Saturday afternoon movie. The first selection is Summer of Soul, which is the documentary by Questlove. Yeah. So we thought, since we're so close to Marcus Garvey, that would be a good one to kick off with. So we're hoping to build a following for the movies. So yeah, I'll include a link to our monthly calendar and the events page.
Thank you, and congratulations also for your continued commitment.
No, yeah, thank you.
Well deserved. You're welcome.
I was touched and very surprised, but very touched. Thank you.
Can I ask Walter? Can I ask him?
I was coming to you, Miss Green. Are you from Jackie Robinson?
Yes.
I was gonna, because your colleague said something about you're not getting much participation. It would be nice if you can send us a flyer or maybe a like one of your regular so we can add that to the minutes too for the seniors.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Definitely will. I wanted to ask Will from the Bruce Library. Is there a way that, like, the movie days and the writer that's coming in on Saturday, if there are things outside of the computer class and chess and stuff that could be done during the week that we could use as a trip for the older adults to come to the library to see those kind of presentations and, movies and such?
Well, I mean, we'd love to have your residents come. All of our programs are free and open to the public. So, if you were to bring a large group, it would be good to know in advance just so we could set out extra chairs. But do you get our flyers? I thought.
No.
Okay.
I do get your flyers, but what I was talking about, because the two things that you just mentioned were on Saturdays.
I see.
I was wondering if you had some things during the week like that I could, do a trip and
I
take.
see.
Yes.
The scheduling varies. So Ceci just prefers doing Saturdays for her plays, and the movies. We were trying to sort of pick days where, because we close either at 6 or 7, it's sometimes difficult to do. We struggle to find a time that works for everybody, because if people work, we close too early to do it in the evening. So Saturday is kind of the only time that somebody who works 9 to 5 could really attend a program. But I also know that it's not always convenient. People have a lot going on weekends, or your residents might not be free. So
yeah.
I'm trying to think right now. We have crochet and chat that runs during the week. What else do we have during the
list of activities? Because I get your flyers.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind, and I'll try to maybe incorporate, at least once a month, something that's happening during
Yeah, like
the
1
daytime
o'clock or,
hours. Okay.
yeah, noon, like a nice little, movie during the day.
Okay.
Midday, something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, yes.
The movie is, since it's new, we're sort of experimenting with times, and so maybe we can do 2 a month instead of 1 a month, and one of them could be during the weekday. So
Great.
okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any comments, questions? This is a good time to vocalize that. Ms. Fletcher?
Yeah, I'd like to know, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to know how I get my name on the mailing list so I can get a flyer and find out what's happening at the library.
Do you, Ms. Fletcher, do you have an email address that you check?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
the best way would be to sign up. We have if you could send that to me or share that, I can sign you up for the library's newsletter, and you'll find out about events that way.
Okay, I'm not that familiar with all of these big apparatus. I do have an iPhone, et cetera, but I'd have to call in. So I need a telephone number so I can call in and get my name added that way, because I'm not.
Sure. Okay. So you want me to give you the library's number then?
That would be fine.
Okay. It's do you have a pen and paper?
I do.
Okay. It's 212-662-9727. 9727,
and I just asked for the to be added on the list for the newsletter. So
yeah, just say you're interested in receiving emails about library programs, and yeah, that isn't direct to me. You're welcome to ask for Will, and I can try to sign you up myself, but anybody should be able to help.
Okay, fine, not a problem. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Fletcher, did you get the number?
Yes, I did.
Okay, gotcha.
I can read it back to you if you'd like.
I like that. Hello, Antonica. Is that Tonica? Is that your name? And how's Antonica? Okay, she's still muted. Okay, I guess we're going to proceed with old business. Last month, our senior resource fair was well attended. We had a lot of community members. We had quite a few politicians and/or representatives. Food was donated. We had entertainment. Aurelius's daughter sang lovely, fantastically. Thank you, Aurelius.
Thank you so much.
And are you going to make an announcement, Aurelius? I really do want to hear. I'm going to close my ears because that's kind of old business.
No, I just wanted to say that my daughter was very happy to sing for the seniors on that day.
I'm talking about your future endeavors with the committee.
I'm sorry. Yes. So I am. Hold on. Let me just hope that I have my camera.
I'm about to cry, y'all. So I think I'm off camera. I'm coming off camera.
Actually, I'm running for a district leader in the area for Part D. So anyone that lives between 140th and 125th can actually vote for me in the next election. The elections are going to start in June 17, which is early election, and the last day is June 27. I'll appreciate those that live in that area or that know someone that live there that they can vote for me if they want to. But I am very excited about that as a volunteer position. I know that there's a lot that we need in our community, and I am basically very passionate about service and helping others.
And as a result, with the community board.
And as a result of the community board, I will no longer be part of the community board. So, basically, yes. So
I just want to thank you for your commitment and your energy and your your dedication. Onward and upward. I'm hoping that the folks in your district, because you're outside of mine, but hopefully they'll take notice and still get you involved in the community, because I seem to see that you love working with the folks, and I'm going to miss you madly, at least on the official side. But I hope you can still join us at our meetings on a irregular basis, if not.
Well, I'm still part of the community, so definitely every time I have a chance, I'll be here.
Thank you for your commitment. Anthony, would you like to say anything? Anthony? Okay, I'm gonna proceed to new business.
I would
Anthony,
like-
go ahead.
I was just, Walter, I just wanted to, remind folks that I won't be carrying on into the fall, but I enjoyed working with everyone on the community board and in particular this committee, which Martin and I had previously chaired, and I had chaired solo and also have been a member of for nearly the entirety of my time on the board. So I wish everyone well, and I wish everyone continued success in the community.
Okay.
For those of you who are affiliated with city agencies as well as community-based organizations that have supported me in the past by coming to speak, and thanks to you, Walter, and to our new co-chair, just the same. All the best, everyone.
Thank you, Anthony. I'm going to proceed to new business, and I really would like input, especially from our seniors. I would like, starting in September, I would like to have the meetings in person at our board office, which is 3295. Is it 3295, y'all? 133rd Street and Broadway on the downtown side. We used to meet in person at the George Bruce, but now that our community board has their own office and we have space to accommodate, I would love to start meeting in person. It benefits the folks that are coming in on the phone, because now you can get direct contact and meet with folks in person, put faces to the names, and anything that's interesting with your personal or anything with your building, anything with your, you can start addressing them in person. So I'd like to see what people think about meeting in person starting in September. Any comments?
I would like to comment, Walter, if I may.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to say this on behalf of seniors somewhat, as well as having previously been co-chair, as I mentioned a second ago. Walter, there were two things. I had the benefit of talking to Martin, and in addition to some current and former members of our committee, and a number of them are concerned that if the hybrid format that we had agreed to during the community board's current chair's tenure is not continued, that might substantially impair the deterrent for those who prefer the hybrid format. A number of seniors used to come religiously 5-10 years ago, have mobility issues. Some of them are not in the best of health. We still have a number of new viruses that have cropped up in the city. And I even should drop the point that in terms of the call-in information, which one or two current members have asked me to provide to them, I realize that it's not been on the last, a few of the agenda that notices that have been sent out by mail on at least 2 or 3 times since January. So I hope that this isn't, I hope that's inadvertent, naturally, because people have had to contact others to get that call information. But secondly, my understanding from the powers that be for the board is that there was going to be a continued format, not just for committee activities and meetings, but also for those committees that are best served by having a hybrid format. I'm hoping that is what you were suggesting, as opposed to meeting in person and not having an exemption for those who are willing to attend, to, if it's necessary to do so, have the benefit of an exemption whereby they can still call in and participate and gather the information that's generally provided at committee meetings for seniors.
This is not written in stone, and this is not my mandate for myself or Carlton. I'm open to hybrid. I really am. I just, we had quite a few folks that attended the senior resource fair, and I don't know, I guess I was emceeing, so I couldn't get a chance to meet who, individually who was there. So, but we did get a number of folks that have never been to meetings before, and I'd like to continue that as well as to continue. I still have the list of the folks that was making the meeting in person before we went into COVID. So I'm going to have to call in. I'll probably sit down and start making phone calls to them as well to get some of them to come back. But I'm open to hybrid. I'll probably be in person there on our committee our Tuesdays meetings. And some of the like some of the folks probably it's going to be difficult for them to come in person. Some of the presenters and stuff. So I'm open to hybrid. What do you think about it, Carlton?
That's great news. That's great news. So maybe, in response, it's a fantastic idea to have meetings on site, provided, some members who otherwise cannot, mobilize or for health reasons cannot attend those meetings can nonetheless attend by phone or virtually. So I would like to see the committee attempt to accommodate your proposal, provided we retain the hybrid format. So that's wonderful news.
Lydia, you want to add anything to that? Any suggestions?
Yeah, I'm fine with coming in. There's no problem for me.
Carlton?
Yeah, I mean, hybrid is good, but we do need to have in person at least once. Try once to see who's willing to come out and just have a backup format. And if that's to be hybrid, like we did the general meeting and the executive meeting where people come in and the board may comes in and others that can't make it, they can have a hybrid format, but we need to show up.
Okay, I'm okay. I'm open to that. So let's start with the hybrid thing and let's start the flight. I'm not great with the technology, so then we have to work out some kinks. But anything to keep the momentum going, because this has been really a great experience for me. For my now 5 years. I've been in since 2018, and we're going to go on with an upward, and we'll have new committee members starting in September as well. So. If we have no more comment, Jackie, do you want to say something? I saw your mouth move. You're muted though. All right, okay. All right, so if there's any more, not any more comments, suggestions, we can take a motion to close.
Well, before you close,
Walter, before you.
Okay.
Werner,
go.
I just want to say I welcome the in-person. It's another way of helping us to curb the social isolation among seniors.
Thank you. I agree with you. I agree.
A lot of the older adults at that event, and you can see the excitement in their faces. I was so happy to see Miss Gilmore.
Gilmore, yes.
So I definitely recommend the in-person. I know I'm not on the board, but I had to say something on behalf of older adults.
Thank you for your comment. Anthony?
Walter, I mean, some of the seniors members of the committee are on the phone and haven't spoken, one of whom I believe is my own mother.
Well, I opened the floor. I haven't heard.
Would any of you like to go on record and make a statement as to Walter's suggestion?
Ms. Fletcher, would you like to comment?
I'm newly introduced to another phase of my health situation, and I'm learning to get around with a rollator. So I've not attempted to try to get a bus to come up to the meetings, because you guys are not that far from where I live. But it's just I don't have a healthcare attendant or anything. So
that's perfectly fine. I understand. Ms. Wilborn, anything you'd like to contribute? Ms.
I was muted, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I really like having the hybrid, having both of them. Because,
okay, see, that's why it's
and we really, those of us on the phone have really shown up.
Okay, that's true. This is true. I just miss seeing you all in person. And Anthony, the hybrid meetings will include coffee and donuts. Okay, you have to keep that going.
Well, I'll be in Connecticut, but I'm good for purchasing my own donut.
Okay.
But,
Well, you know,
but
just
thank
they
you
used
all.
to do it at the George Bruce. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, most certainly.
All right.
Certainly.
All right. So we'll take a motion to close.
Walter, before you close, hi,
Yes.
this is Antonika. I just wanted to make note. I put some things in the chat just to give some people some information about the program that I work for. We are the Connect program, so we do provide free offsite therapy services as well as case management for residents in Harlem, and it's free offsite. So we are attached to the clinic where people can come in, but your insurance would be billed if you decided to utilize services that way. But if it's offsite, it's completely free of charge for those 18 and over. And so the therapists or the case managers come to you. They come to your home. They will meet you at the library. They'll meet you at the park, Starbucks, McDonald's, community centers, places where people feel safe and comfortable in going. So I just wanted to let people know that this service is out here and it's available. We've been tabling at different events. We're open to tabling at any point. I'm sorry that I missed out on the resource fair. I would have been excited to participate and meet folks in person. But we also are open to doing presentations in this type of group setting as well, just to give people some more info on what we do. We also distribute a community survey to find out what it is that the community wants to happen, as opposed to us telling community members, this is what you should be doing. And these are programs you should be working on. We want to hear from the community. What do you want more of? Do you want art therapy? Do you want garden therapy? Do you prefer yoga? Do you want to have different activities that you work on? So that's something that we also provide and give out to the community. And to pivot, I also had put in the chat information about a documentary I attended at the New School a few months back, and it's called The Rhythms of the Land. They do provide screenings for this documentary. It was hosted by that school, but it's a pretty great discussion on the farming community and overall community of Black farming and how that has impacted the lives of our ancestors. And so there's also a call to action for those who are allies in this cause and want to support Black farmers in getting what's due to them, and including reparations in some capacity. You can do free screenings. The doctor, Dr. Gail Myers, she also does screenings of this documentary via Zoom, or you can have her come in person. So I just wanted to put that information out there.
Thank you, Ms. James. Listen, could you add, my email is in the chat also. Could you send, I'd like to get a copy of the survey. Maybe I can add that to the minutes as well.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, so I can send that out. And look, this is what we're working toward, just not rather than just doing an agenda, that we can add information like from Mr. Haggis, what's happening with them. So we can add all of this to, and the Jackie Robinson Center. So we can add all of this to our monthly mailings. And if anybody has issues with not getting mailings, we need to know that, okay? We have two new clerical folks on the board now. And so there should be no problems with receiving mail. Okay, so I'll take a motion to close. You don't want to keep on meeting, okay?
I'll make a motion to close.
Seconded, anyone?
Second.
Thank you. So we won't be together until September, but we will be working diligently. I need to get to that address list that they had as well as calling back some of the former members that used to come, and we can make this a nice gathering starting in September. Thank you all for my colleagues on the board. Lilia, you want to say something? All right. Thank you for my colleagues on the board, and thank you for my seniors, my beloved seniors, as well as my presenters, for coming on a regular basis. And have a great summer. Don't forget
Have a great summer, everyone.
August.
Yes.
Don't forget Harlem Week in August. It's going to be fabulous. They're putting this out now, and it should be really great.
August what?
It's usually it's the whole month of August.
Right.
But it's usually the one on 135th Street is usually the fourth Sunday on 135th from 5th to St. Nicholas.
Yep.
And if you want to bring a table, yeah, that's a good way to engage the community, as well as the other. Bring a table. Contact the Harlem Chamber of Commerce, and I don't know if there's a fee. I hope there isn't, because this is a community service. So anyway,
Hey there.
great summer, everyone.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
All right.
No te confundas, con su amor.
Yo soy una mariposa de acero y juntos estamos alzando nuestras alas para combatir el.
All right.
Ganándome a mí y a mis generaciones.
What did I do here? Come on. All right, save chat. Six.